An excerpt from Rabash. What is the aid that the one who comes to purify gets in a work? Not everything that a person doesn't have is considered a deficiency. Rather, a deficiency is considered everything that a person wants and he doesn't have. That is called a deficiency. Because of that, when we want to measure the size of the desire, we measure it according to the suffering that one has, if he does not have that thing that he yearns for. By this, it turns out that the first aid which the upper one gives the lower one is the knowledge of what is necessary to attain. And the suffering because of that one has not yet attained it, this is considered that the upper one is giving the lower one the kli. And afterwards, when the lower one already has a true need, then the upper one gives him the second aid, second assistance, which is the light and the fulfillment for the deficiency. Let's read that again. Not everything that a person does not have is considered a deficiency. Rather, a deficiency is called everything that a person wants and he doesn't have it. That's called a deficiency. Because of that, when we wish to measure the size of the desire, we measure it according to the suffering that one has if he does not have that thing that he yearns for. By this, it turns out that the first aid or first assistance that the upper one gives the lower one is the knowledge of what is necessary to attain. And the suffering because of it, that one has not yet achieved it, this is considered that the upper one is giving the lower one the kli. Then, when the lower one has a true need, the upper one gives him the second assistance, namely the light and the filling of the lack. A workshop question. What is the assistance that we ask for together during the lesson? Again, what is the assistance that we ask for together during the lesson? An active workshop.
We ask for that the upper will connect us in the most simple way. We just want to connect. And in the connection, we'll find everything. Answers for all of our deficiencies are found in connection.
We ask for arvut from the friends. We ask to give them arvut so that in the mind and heart they will be attached, chained to the connection, and the lesson in the background will connect us through the reforming light.
From what I understood from the excerpt is that we'll see what's missing, or what we are missing. So if we don't feel that something's missing and we don't know what to ask for, we need to feel the deficiency fully so we know what to ask for. So we'll ask.
Yes, if we make an effort in connection and look for what is missing so that we can actually precisely connect, it becomes a much more accurate request, much more from the bottom of the heart, not just from the mouth and outwardly. And this happens only after we try to get close.
It's also that attempt to get closer is also from the help from above, because we don't have any actions we can do. So also for that we have to ask.
The only help that is that for us to make this lesson a beneficial one, that we will help each other and support that network that exists internally, so that we will devote as many moments as possible to inner work and not to the disturbances that can appear also during the lesson.
Most important is to be in that request to the upper and everything, in every moment. Whenever you need to ask for our food, for connection, for our vessel, for our kli, to where we can reveal it, and to bring him contentment through it.
Yeah. This connection is the only place in which we can somehow be matching or normal in terms of reality, that is, the light departs from everywhere else, in order to show us where we shouldn't be and where we should be.
Yes. Through connection we need to ask for it, and through the example of what's missing that we need to ask for, and we find it through connection.
And each time it is refreshed. Seemingly we come back to the same topic, but each time it feels different. When we scrutinize it together, something completely different emerges, and this shows us that we are on the move. The Creator is constantly moving us forward, and we just have to keep pace with Him.
There's a great force in it, and it's not obvious that friends come to the lesson and ask for connection. There's no other society that does it, and that we're here in a workshop reminding it. It's really awakening the heart and strengthening the feeling that we're as one person.
Yeah. Maybe the assistance is to get to feel the yearning of the friends for spirituality, as we say that the walls in the heart will open up, and we will feel that each one is here for a reason. And that prayer that the friends wish to come to, that's exactly the stage after we feel each other's deficiency, that will turn to our common deficiency. We very much want this assistance so that we will feel each other.
And what's left is to implement, like we said, that the Creator will help to connect. And thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be together.
Кто еще может добавить? Помощь вообще это слияние с Творцом.
להביא אותי אל הקודשי, איי 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 ושימחתי בבית תפילתי, איי 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 ושימחתי
כמה הודעות. אין להכניס מזון
Few
מחוץ לאולם
messages.
הלימוד.
You can't bring food from outside into the study hall. You can only prepare coffee in the coffee stations inside the study hall. If you take your coffee outside, you cannot bring it back in. The coffee station is on the left side of the study hall, and the coffee station for women is on the right side. You cannot place keys or any belongings like your cell phone on the table. You can place them inside plastic bags that you can get near the entrances, and then you cannot place bags on the table either. Anything that does fall onto the floor, you signal for someone on duty and they will come and help you. You do not pick it up yourself. Men's restrooms are on the left side and women's restrooms are on the right side. We'll continue with a quiet preparation.
אנחנו נפתח בספר פסח בעמוד 212.
Open with the Passover book. What is a cup of blessing must be full in the work by Rabash. Please turn off telephones. Hello, we are reading from the Passover book, article, What is a Cup of Blessing Must Be Full in the Work by Rabash. You can find the article online at cab.tv, and you can ask questions there too, and selected questions will be asked during the lesson. Again, Passover book, What is a Cup of Blessing Must Be Full in the Work by Rabash. What is a cup of blessing must be full in the work? It is written in Zohar full, which is said regarding a cup of blessing, as it is written, a cup full of the blessing of the Lord, so man should be whole. As it is written, and Jacob came whole. We should understand the following. What does it imply that when wine is poured into a cup and it is full, it is called a cup full of the blessing of the Creator? This means that if the cup is not filled with wine, the blessing of the Creator cannot be. 2. Why does it say, so a man should be whole like the cup with the wine? What does it add to us by this?
2. The
the
correction
cup
of
is already
creation for the creatures to strive to bestow upon the Creator so he will enjoy. That is, the will to receive for oneself wants to enjoy, and the Creator gave him this desire, but he relinquishes this desire and wants only for the Creator to enjoy. It follows that the two are opposites. Hence there is hard work to achieve such a desire called the desire to bestow contentment upon one's Maker and relinquish the desire for self-benefit. In order to be able to emerge from the control of the will to receive, we must begin in lo lishma, not for her sake, meaning for our own benefit. In other words, by observing Torah and mitzvot, one will be rewarded in this world. As it is written in the Zohar, that he will have life, health, and sustenance. Otherwise, he will not be able to enjoy the corporeal life in this world. When a person believes this, he has someone who compels him to observe the Torah and mitzvot. This is called believing in reward and punishment, meaning that he keeps the Torah and mitzvot because he's afraid of punishment and expects to receive reward.
Sometimes the reward and punishment are expressed in a person as reward and punishment in the next world, where there are the Garden of Eden and hell. And this is the reason compelling him to observe Torah and mitzvot. And since from lo lishma we come to lishma, for her sake, meaning that the light in the Torah illuminates to him that there is a different manner of reward and punishment, where the reward is to be rewarded with vikut, adhesion with the Creator. At that time, he can feel the greatness of the King, that this is the reward he expects, and he regards as punishment when he sees and feels that he is separated from the life of lives, and that he is far from the Creator. This, to him, is the biggest punishment. It follows that even when a person already has some sensation of Torah and mitzvot, which the lo lishma has caused him, when sometimes he begins to feel a little bit of the greatness of the Creator, this causes him to want to annul before him as a candle before a torch. At that time, a person cannot understand why he wants to annul before him now and annul all of his own reality before the Creator. Rather, this comes to him as though it is a natural thing, meaning that even though he does not understand what is being done with him now, that he wants to annul, but in reality, so it is. This is called an awakening from above, where a person's hand does not reach. Hand awakening means attainment, from the words when a hand attains, meaning that person does not understand why he wants to completely annul before him. However, when awakening departs from him, a person begins to yearn to achieve annulment before the Creator, and wants to obtain the feeling he had while in ascent. But now he begins to see how far he is from this, and all his organs resist such ideas as annulling self-benefit, and that all his concerns will be how to bring contentment to his Maker. At that time he sees that the world has grown dark on him. He cannot find a place from which to receive vitality. And then he sees that he is in a state of descent and lowness. When he comes to such a descent, he sees that no one has such bad thoughts. However, one should believe in the sages that such thoughts come from above, meaning that from above they want this person who wants to approach the Creator to suffer descents, because by having descents, he will feel the need for the Creator to lift him. This is as it is written, he lifts the indigent from the trash. That is, precisely when he feels that he is in the trash, meaning that all those things that he regarded as trash, as animal food, who eat the waste that people throw in the trash, and of which they say that it is food that is unfit for human consumption, as he himself says during an ascent. But now that the Creator wants to bring him closer, a person should feel his lack, and then he can receive a filling for the lack. It follows that precisely when a person is in the trash, and from there searches for his food, when he sees to what state he has come, after all the labor he has given in order to obtain the desire to bestow contentment upon his Maker, then he can make an earnest prayer. Yet a person does not always have the strength to believe. However, when a person is already standing near the place from which he will receive the help from above, and near means that the kli, meaning the desire to bestow, is far away from him, then he sees that only the Creator can save him. As Bala Sulam said, this is the most important point in man's work, for then he has close contact with the Creator, because he sees 100% that nothing can help him but the Creator himself. Although he believes this, still, this faith does not always illuminate for him that specifically now is the best time to receive the salvation of the Creator, that specifically now he can be saved, and the Creator will bring him closer, meaning give him the desire to bestow and emerge from the control of self-love, which is called Exodus from Egypt. In other words, he comes out of the control of the Egyptians, who afflicted Israel and did not let them do the holy work. And the children of Israel sighed from the work, and their cry rose up to God. And then the Creator brought them out from the exile in Egypt. In other words, since the people of Israel felt the enslavement and wanted to escape from this exile, that the Egyptians were enslaving them, when they came to this important point of feeling their lowliness, the Creator brought them out of Egypt. This is, as the Ari says, that when the people of Israel were in Egypt, they were already in 49 dates of Tum'ah, impurity, and then the Creator brought them out from Egypt. This means that they already came to the worst lowliness, the lowest that can be, and then the Creator brought them out. It follows that when a person sees that he is in utter lowliness, he should believe that specifically now is the time when the Creator will bring him closer. And if the faith does not shine for him, then, on the spot, he escapes the campaign. It follows that the whole order of the labor that he has given is seemingly for nothing, but later he is given another awakening from above, and once again he forgets what he had during the ascent, and thinks once more that he will no longer have descents, and so on repeatedly. A person needs great mercy in order to not escape the campaign. Although he uses the counsels that our sages said, I have created the evil inclination, I have created the Torah as a spice. But a person says that he has already used this advice several times to no avail. He also says that he has already used the advice. He who comes to purify is aided. And it is as though all the counsels are not for him. Thus, he does not know what to do. This is the worst state for a person, meaning he wants to escape from these states but has nowhere to run. At that time, he suffers torments at being between despair and confidence. But then a person says, "Where will I turn?" At that time, the only advice is prayer. Yet this prayer is also without any guarantee. So it follows that then he must pray to believe that the Creator does hear a prayer, and everything that one feels in these states is to his benefit. But this can be only above reason, meaning although the mind tells him, after all the calculations, you see that nothing can help you. He should believe this too, above reason, that the Creator can deliver him from the will to receive for himself, in return from which he will receive the desire to bestow. Then, when a person receives from the Creator the desire to bestow, he becomes whole with the Creator, meaning he has been rewarded with equivalence of form, which is called unification. At that time, a person is considered unblemished, since all of man's blemishes are that he has had bad thoughts about spirituality. That is, instead of feeling the importance of Kedusha, holiness, that it is something very important, when he wants to annul before him, when he has love of the Creator because of the yearning for the Creator, to him it is the opposite. That is, he feels the resistance of the body. All this comes with a lack of faith in the greatness of the Creator. And how can he approach the Creator with the blemishes he has within him? This is the meaning of what we asked. How did they say that one who has a blemish shall not approach? For it means that he no longer has any choice to be able to approach the Creator. In other words, the verse, "Therefore, choose life," was not said about him. Can this be said? However, in the work we should say that a blemish means lack, meaning lack of faith in the Creator. Thus all that has a blemish will not approach, meaning cannot approach the Creator. Instead, first he must correct his blemishes, meaning do good deeds with the aim to be rewarded with the faith in the Creator, that he watches over the world as the good who does good.
So, it turns out that only those who discover the blemishes, according to how they feel the blemishes, that they exist and that it's negative and it actually specifically disconnects them from the Creator, they can come close to the Creator. Any questions? It is all clear. Great. Yes?
Rusi from Croatia is asking, what is the feeling of despair? What is the purpose of despair?
The purpose of loneliness is that, well, first of all, it's a good state. It is a state where a person feels that he is the lowest in the group, the smallest. And in that state, he is worthy of receiving everything from the group. He can receive everything from the group, whatever is in the group, because he is the smallest of them, and only a small one can receive from the greater ones. And in that way, when then he feels himself this way, he receives from them the greatness of the Creator, the greatness of the group, the greatness of the goal. And truly, by that, he has the full opportunity to advance. Yes?
Sai from
Romania is asking, what decides a person has the strength to rise above reason in a descent?
That too, during the descent is in what? We have to always realize that in spirituality, we don't consider the ascents and descents according to how we feel. The feeling can be egoistic. And then it could be a descent in the egoistic feeling, but in truth, along with that, I am in a special action of bestowal, dissemination, connection, etc. So we need to discern if he means a descent where I am without any forces of bestowal. That too is a question. It could be that I have no power to bestow, but I realize that these are special times. It's a temporary situation. And then, out of that, I will later ascend. So, each and everything, we have to scrutinize it according to several elements, according to the mood, the spirit, according to the degree, according to the attitude towards the group, according to the attitude towards the teacher. Each and every situation is complicated. It always includes something and its opposite in the sensation and in the understanding. And therefore, just to say one word, descent. What is a descent? It actually could be the best possible state. Because specifically from the descents, we reach discernments. The greater the descent, the more the discernment is sharp and intense. Anyone else?
רב, אנחנו רואים ממש את התיאור של כל התהליך.
See that just fiction right from the beginning to the end until he gets to the phrase. He was rewarded with the equivalence of form that is called unification. In that state, that's really true towards the end. It's the feeling of the Creator. It's already the start of spirituality, the first point of
unification is the beginning of the ladder.
The feeling of spirituality.
Yeah, the point of Ibur, let's say, this is the first point of unification.
There's a feeling between the creature and the Creator. It's like the new mind and the heart.
Begin there, that's right.
And then he starts to work with the blemishes.
That's right.
He writes here, first of all, that he gets advice, counsel, and that created the evil inclination and the Torah as Torah, and whoever comes to purify is assisted. There are also sorts of prayers, but it also writes here that then when there's no other counsel other than giving a prayer, what is that prayer? What's that final prayer? How is it different?
He has reached a revelation that the Creator created the evil inclination, and against the evil inclination he created the Torah as a spice, and the person should ask for that spice so that he will be able to convert that evil inclination into a nice meal. So, all in all, the evil inclination is the food. I've created the evil inclination, and the Torah is just a spice. It's a spice, pepper, salt, something like that with which you spice the food, and then you can eat it. Then it becomes worthy of human eating. The beasts, they don't like spices, none of it. It likes it the way it is. If it's meat, it's meat. If it's fish, it's fish. If it's grass, it's grass. The cow wants grass for her it's the same taste as for you, I don't know, cakes. And this is how it is with each and every animal, according to its taste. This means that the evil inclination is the food, which is for men as well as for the beasts. But a person, in order to be human, in order to be Adam, in order to enjoy it and grow as Adam, he needs to add the spice to it. And this is called the Torah. The spice is the intention to bestow. If we use the will to receive, and instead of the natural intentions of in order to receive for one's own benefit, if we replace them by intentions of in order to bestow to others, and through them, through the others, to the Creator, then it turns out that this is the action of man, Adam. Why the Adam? Because one who does that, he becomes Adam, similar to the Creator. Adam from the word domeh, similar. That's it. This is the matter of the spice.
Not what's the spice. That wasn't the question, but it's when a person is exhausted and in despair, and people give them counsel. And one of them is that the one who comes to purify is assisted, and that doesn't help. And it doesn't have anything else to do but to raise a prayer.
Yes?
So that prayer, that final prayer, that's directed to the Creator. How in our work, how is it different? What's the difference in our work? What is it to our different than what was before it?
It doesn't matter what a person says. There are no such hidden things there that I will tell you in secret a few words, and if you say them, then it's like a mantra that opens up for you the heavens, and suddenly you enter. There is no such thing. Rather, it all depends on the opening of the heart. So there are no special words here, rather a special feeling which is called from the bottom of the heart. This means that the heart will want to bestow in the deepest possible manner. This means that what I want to do is to push all of my friends to contact with the Creator. And whatever happens to me, what's going to be with me, I don't care. I make a tzimtzum, restriction over myself. And the bestowal that I can do towards the Creator is to push my friends to Him. I push them. They cannot advance without me. So what I do is I don't think about myself, I think about them, and how can I, through them, give contentment to the Creator in a way that He won't even know about it, that I am doing it. The most important is that it will be good for them, for the friends, and for the Creator together. If I depict this form, this status, this scene, then you might say that I'm saved, maybe, but I'm saved from the will to receive for myself, and I reach bestowing contentment upon the Creator. Of course, inside these intentions that I'm now activating, I also have to ask of the Creator for help, ask the friends for help, and I need to make an effort by myself in order for this to occur. And I need to arrange all of these elements so that they will not disturb each other. I ask for help from the society in order to pray to the to the society and bring it closer to the Creator. I'm asking help from the Creator in order to bring the society so that they can bring Him contentment. It seems to be the opposite. I ask to give me an opportunity to do it, even though I don't even want to know that I am doing it. Just that for them, it will be all of the action will be in them, as well as its summary, its bottom line. If a person tries in this way to constantly work, to calibrate himself, then he feels that the upper light is constantly correcting him for that. It makes this correction in him to his thought and to his desire. That's it. All right? Yes.
Там написано, что в момент падения, если человека недостаточно вера в Творца, то он может оставить поле битвы.
It's written that during the descent, when no one has enough faith in the Creator, he can leave the trail, the campaign.
Новое, как бы, клей падения. И что такое вера в Творца?
But from the correct efforts, one receives a new vessel from the descent. So what's a vessel in that situation?
No, it doesn't mean that you have to specifically, well, you have many ascents and descents, disappointments, and one needs all of them. One has to try. One has to try that it will be, well, in order to advance, one has to make an effort, but whatever happens on the path, he accepts all of these things with a good, uplifted spirit. Try to accept them this way. And justify the Creator. What is faith here? Is that what he's asking? Faith means the force of bestowal. This is the only thing he's thinking about. How can he reach a state where he will have the force of bestowal in the darkest, let's say, states, most unpleasant for the will to receive, because then he can demonstrate, he can present or demonstrate his force of bestowal. As much as the situation is dark, one has the possibility to discover the force of bestowal, the force of faith, without any foundation.
Почему он пишет, что может оставить поле битвы человек?
This is right that one can leave the campaign.
Because it's difficult. If a person doesn't see anything ahead of him, it's darkness, there's nothing there, even things that are threatening him. If a person sees that what he went through, it's completely not useful for him. Rather, to the contrary, he used to be more, smarter, more useful, more understanding, and now, let's say, for a few months, and it could be months, he has nothing, and nothing shines for him from ahead of him. Then, what does he get out of it? He simply is in helplessness. And of course now he's in danger of leaving. He might leave. The Creator deliberately is putting him through such states so that the person will know that by himself he cannot guarantee for himself even the next moment. He cannot. Rather, he has to say that only good and mercy will chase after me all the days of my life, that this is all mercy and it's all good, and the Creator is taking him through that, there is none else besides him, and he has to strengthen it through the environment, and remember the covenant that there is between him and them, so that they can now help him, and more of that, everything that we learn along the way. And in the end, if one does the right things, at a time before that darkness, then he can also walk through the darkness. Even if I shall walk in the valley of death, I will not fear evil, because you are with me. Then he's capable of it. And that depends on the preparation. But nevertheless, in order to feel the darkness, there has to be a great and very dark disconnection without any hope. Such things are necessary, because without that we will not be able to discover the next degree.
Все мы, то есть, так или иначе, что-то подобное проходим, должны пройти.
passed through something similar, not always in a state where one can make a calculation like that there's be enough if someone comes, shares in it?
First of all, it all depends on the preparation. One has to constantly prepare himself, not prepare himself for descent and darkness. No, that's not good. Rather, one has to constantly invite himself, draw himself to the ascent, to constantly prepare himself for ascent. And that is actually his preparation for the darkness that will come. That's one. Second, by being disconnected, he comes to contact, to a lesson, to Yeshivat Chaverim, to anything, as much as he's capable of. Even if he just drags himself there, and he's not capable of hearing or participating with them in some common feeling, nothing. So what? Even I sometimes am in a lesson, maybe you don't quite feel it. I'm not talking about feeling physically unwell, rather truly in that way, in such times where I hardly even hear. Well, on the level of the lesson, I can still be there, but also it's very difficult, and sometimes it's such things that they don't let you. By the way, the teacher is not given such states during the lesson or while he's doing his role. They don't give him such things so that he cannot read. But outside of the lesson, it could be such things, such states where you are completely disconnected and you don't even understand, and you can't even put together a few letters into a word. Yes.
От чего зависит, чтобы человек все-таки не оставил поле битвы?
What depends if a person just won't leave the campaign?
Only on his connection with the group, with the teacher, and also with luck.
All
right? Yes?
И вопрос такой. Сам помех, цель, дает ощущение, что у тебя вообще нет, ты бессилен.
The disturbance gives you a feeling that you're in despair.
Yes.
Возбудился этот крик.
Is it given so that that cry will be awoken in a person?
A cry out to the Creator.
Но если нет у меня, он полностью играет со мной.
But he's playing with me completely.
The Creator is playing with me in an absolute manner, I might say, on the condition that from my state I come to the group, and in the group I try to achieve a connection with Him. At least I depict to myself that I am in the group, and in the group He is also there, and then I try to have me, the group, and the Creator together. That's it. I grab that and I don't let go.
На самом деле это тоже не в моих силах приходить к крику.
The fact that even with my own strength I can't get to a cry.
I need to try as much as possible, and then to see, where my forces end. I don't know. Maybe it is within my forces to cry out to the Creator. Yes?
Ну хорошо, но да, я пользуюсь всеми средствами, но самое главное средство — это группа.
Using all of these efforts, but the most important thing is the group.
I would say that there are not that many means. Rather, the group is the means, and all the other means are included in that.
Ну хорошо, если бессилие, крик, тогда значит этот крик даже не в словах, а крик изнутри идет.
There's just helplessness, then this cry doesn't even come in words, it comes from somewhere inside.
That's true.
How do you work with it? To continue the work from there.
Only in the group. Come physically to the group and to try to be in it, and then gradually the state changes. Not that it just goes away. Rather, when you're in the group, when one goes into the group and he's included there, then it reaches correction.
Значит, таким образом я только могу научиться отдавать, допустим. Это есть учеба.
So just like there one can bestow, it's learning how to bestow.
Only inside of the group. There is no chance to reach spirituality if there is no group. The minimum of the many is two. And they say that even if other than the person there's at least one more, that's maybe okay. But if he's by himself, he will not be able to understand his own nature, upon which he has to transcend.
А как вспомнить в таком состоянии, что нужно кричать именно Творцу?
How in that state can we remember that we have to cry out specifically to the Creator?
We need to receive all of that from above. Apparently, the time has not come yet for you to think that, for you to feel that you have to turn to the Creator. There are still all kinds of obstructions on the way that need to be taken care of beforehand. There are many states where a person seemingly is ready to cry out, but not to the Creator. Rather, or maybe to the Creator, but not for his spiritual advancement, but to be saved from his situation. But what does it mean to be saved from his situation? The Creator has put him into some situation where the person feels bad, and the person cries out, "Help me." Who are you crying to? Save me. To the one who did that to you?
Нет, ну так вот понимаешь, и понимаешь, что он все сделал и так далее, но...
You start to understand that she's done everything.
...о том, что нужно просить именно его.
And in that moment when you need to ask, you forget that you need to ask, and it's specifically from Him and specifically for that.
It's not that you forget. The matter of forgetting means that it's not yet absorbed in your kelim. So a few months or half a year later, it will connect the situation and also the prayer and also the Creator. They will connect. Anyone else?
Да, если немножко продолжить эту тему, побега с поля боя.
A bit the subject regarding leaving the campaign.
Не знаю, за урок или за день 10 состояний, из них я 6 прошел, там 4 убежал.
Let's say that during the lesson or throughout the day, 10 situations come to me, and 4 of them I leave, and I didn't tie them to the Creator. I didn't really experience them.
Попросил вас забирать товарища, который очень тяжело вставал на урок.
I was told once that the Rabash give you a mission to bring a friend to the lesson that was very difficult for him to wake up to, and you said you didn't manage to do
Я
it.
теряю это, или оно попозже приходит? Как это работает?
So what happens? Did I lose it? Does it disappear, or does it come back later?
I couldn't. I came back, and I said that I wasn't capable of it anymore, so he sent someone else. And later I realized that nevertheless, indeed, I couldn't cope with it. There are things with which back then I couldn't still cope with. I still had weakness in my faith. I couldn't pay with the required effort that was needed back then in order to carry out the command of the teacher or the command of the Creator. It is the same. I couldn't.
Да, вот проблема в том, что я убегаю, то есть отвлекаюсь от этого. Не хочу
Is that I do escape. I do leave. and I want to be immersed enough in that situation. Maybe you can suggest something.
I can only recommend one thing. It won't help if you do it forcefully. It can actually make you run away completely from the group. Rather, to the contrary, look at the group the way that they can help each other, how they are connected, how they awaken each other, and for you to have a greater feeling of envy. All right? Yes.
And when you say lock, you mean some kind of drop system that Kabbalah is calling lock to keep it... to keep it random and always remind the freedom of choice? Because it's a perfect system. For me, it doesn't make sense the word lock.
Luck means a force that comes to a person intermittently. It comes and goes, it comes and goes. Therefore, when there is a cessation, there is some kind of disconnection, and the person is then hesitating. Will it come again or will it not come again? Yes or no? So if it comes again, we say that he is lucky. Because no one can say if it's going to happen again or not. That's luck. That's how it works. In order to be lucky, a person needs a certain power of faith, so as to want, so that he will want to help us. He will want to support the group, the teacher, the creator. By that he opens up for himself the channel of luck. All right?
No.
אדם שעבר חושך מאוד גדול, האם הוא יכול לחסוך לחברים?
Oh, wait again, speak slowly.
A person who's gone through a great darkness in the past, is he able to help friends in a similar situation?
To spare them, or I don't know how you can spare them through that. A person who goes through stages in the spiritual path, by integrating with the friends, of course he passes on to them what he has been through. And it's not that he rids them of carrying things out, but each one out of that knows how to correctly carry out those transitions by himself. It's like, let's say, children who are born nowadays. They don't need to learn what we learned or build what we have built. Rather, they get it ready-made.
Next question. In the most darkest moment, a person can reveal the point of belief in something that he's prepared before.
The power of faith is the power of bestowal, which is specifically revealed when the will to receive is in darkness, when it cannot discover anything, and therefore the states of darkness are the most worthy for acquiring the power of faith. It is help for a person so that he can achieve the power of faith. That's it?
How does the creator, how does a teacher know what to give students during a lesson?
Me? Well, is it for me or not? If it's not for me, I'm not going to answer.
Yes, you.
How does the teacher know what to give the students during the lesson? We are together in a process. I myself am in myself, and I'm also with you. And I feel the state that you, in general, in the strong part of the group that you are going through, it's not the strong minority. Rather, let's say, a quarter of the group, up to a half of the group, let's say, which is capable of going through it, and then I turn to them. I, in general, turn to the most internal 40 or 50% of the group. So the strongest ones, the ones who are in the study and in everything on a persistent, consistent basis. And I feel them, of course. What can I give them? Therefore, you feel that in holidays and in states that we're going through, that this is how it works. And I try also, according to my blog and the Twitter and other things, I try to add to that, and also in the shootouts on the internet, in the studio. All in all, this is what I give. I give pretty much according to the level that can be understood as of today. I don't want to give, and I can't quite do it because I don't feel that I have anyone to give it to. In the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's a great problem. I always have to work according to the state of the group. Above it, I hardly can. I can write in the style of the study of the Ten Sefirot, but essays like Shemari, it's impossible to write on a higher level than some part of the group. All right, is that it?
Says here the blemishes as things that come to spirituality of a person. And when these evil thoughts come, do you have a way of not listening to them?
How?
I'm asking, is there
no, how? How can that be? It cannot be. But why is that a concern? So bad alien thoughts come. First of all, why should I think about them that they are alien, foreign? They are not foreign. They are foreign to the path, to the greatness of the group, the greatness of the Creator, the greatness of the goal. That's true. But in the meantime, when I now feel how they appear, I immediately try to aim these thoughts towards the goal. And already they're not foreigner. They're not foreign. They actually help.
Also describes the blemish as a deficiency. So how do these foreign thoughts become a deficiency?
Because they are revealing to me where I'm not yet in adhesion.
So what do you do with them to be stronger than the thoughts?
I need to be in contact with the group, in contact with the path.
It's clear that you have to be in contact. But there comes thoughts, how do you not fall to the governance of the thoughts and continue with the contact that you created before?
I don't understand you. Again? I don't even hear myself enough. Do you feel that or not?
We're always working on building contact between us in a group and with the sources, with a teacher and with the group. At the same time, do these foreign thoughts come in? How do these foreign thoughts come into spirituality and use them to strengthen, and that they're not stronger than you?
I try to constantly be on a certain level of connection with spirituality, not to allow myself to leave spirituality completely, but rather to constantly engage in it. And therefore, when thoughts come that wish to deflect me, to deviate me from that, specifically by them, I try to actually strengthen my path. And therefore, I don't see them as foreign. I see them as help made against him. Now, if such thoughts come that truly slap me, and then the person loses his consciousness and he's in them, and then he's undergoing confusions and truly he sees an upside-down world, a foreign world, foreign to his path, then, well, what can you do? Sometimes nothing helps other than to go to sleep, if you're able of doing that. Sometimes you need to not think about anything, rather just go and do some physical actions. Sometimes it helps to disseminate and all kinds of such things where you don't have to do any thinking in your head, rather just carrying out actions. That's it. All kinds of things. I take some text and I start to process it. For some need. And then I don't think about anything, but only about how do I process these texts right now into something.
How do you turn it into lacks? How do you turn these foreign thoughts into a lack?
On top of these thoughts, I need to be connected with the Creator. Then these foreign thoughts are actually not foreign, they actually help.
Adrian from Romania is asking from a twin gets a blow after a blow. Does it symbolize progress? We think that it's strengthened us. Is that a correct calculation?
Yes and no. A blow after a blow, it shouldn't be this way. No. The 10 has to advance in a good, correct manner. Sometimes blows, but not blow after blow. No. This is a sign of lack of connection. Next.
He's adding that their 10 has a strong connection, but it seems that no one in the group loves them, even though that they try to bestow in every way possible.
Oh, wait, what do you mean? I didn't get that. It's a good group, everything is okay, but they're constantly fighting with each other? Is that what he's trying to say?
His 10 has a strong connection, but in their group...
What do you mean 10 versus group?
There's probably a few 10s in the group, and outside of the 10, they don't love them.
I'm not going to get into, take care of these conflicts.
Sergey from Russia is asking, it's so simple that in your mind to build a channel of luck through the teacher and the 10. Why is it take so much time, and why is it so complicated to implement?
Because in order to implement it, it must be in your desires. This is in our matter, and until the matter undergoes a correction, to say it in your mind and to carry it out in the emotion, these are two different worlds. All right, is that it? What?
Questions from women. What is a weakness in faith? And what is strength in faith?
Faith means the power of bestowal. The power of bestowal is called faith. That's it. So, as much as I can bestow above my ego, it is called that I have the power of faith. Great faith or small faith, it's the power of Bina on top of Malchut. Is that it?
How do I know? How do I check myself that friends in my eyes are truly great?
I don't check. I don't check. How can I check that others are greater in truth or not? I accept them, even though according to my examination, which I did, and I didn't do it on purpose, but now I discover that each one of them is actually lesser than me several times over in any measurement possible. At the same time, I accept them as great. Why? The Creator has chosen them. He brought them to be here before me in order for me to bow before them, to integrate with them, and to diminish myself compared to them. So I do it because of Him.
If within there's a strong cry for connection, how is correctly to pass it on to the 10 and the group?
There is no general solution for that. If I have in me a need to cry out, to pressure, to do something, well, I need to see it according to the situation. I cannot answer that. All right? Yes? What are we going to do next? You're local. What's with you? What letter? Letter 56. It's page 297 in the Sage's Fruit.
Letter number 56 by Baal Sulam.
Sage's Fruit, page 297. Sage's Fruit letters, page 297.
Letter number 56. I received your letter today and I understood it, and yet I believe that you should know also my view regarding your words, although in my estimate you still do not perceive them. For this reason, the words will not delight you, nor will they be pleasant in your view, and for that the truth will show its way. Many say, "Who will show me good?" And yet very few find it. We should therefore understand where is that great and relentless obstacle that mercilessly fails so many. I have already pointed out to you several times the famous law in the holy books that nothing is given unless by merit, meaning through labor, which everyone calls awakening from below. Without it, no bestowal from above, called awakening from above, will ever happen. These words and laws are known to all, but their extent is not known, or they do not want to know it. For this reason, there is a big edifice of the Sitra Achra, which stands and makes allowances in the matter. That is, it is not necessary to exert beyond human capability. In dire times, one has an entire lore from authors and books showing the kindness and mercy of his guidance, with a person who is not so meticulous. He has 1,000 pre-prepared proofs for it, instantaneously. As it is written, the Creator does not criticize His creations. They said about this such that the Torah is called Sam. For if he is not rewarded, the Torah itself becomes to him a potion, Sam of death, for they are learning Torah from Sam, the wicked, and from him they understand. His words of Torah are immediately accepted by the heart and are always kept in the memory, for they are contemplated day and night. God save us from him and from his followers. What shall we do for those, and how can we reach out to them, or slightly move them from their places when they are not at all ready for an awakening from below? I wish to say that even if we succeed, with the Creator's help, to draw upon them the greatest awakening of the body, to crave and covet him, they will still not want, or won't be able to, with that power of theirs, to give the measure of awakening from below that is needed for an awakening from above. This is something about which the Creator has never made allowances, since days of old until this day and always, for he has given an unbreakable law. It is said about it in full measure, when you send her away, you contend with her. The Creator measures a person one portion at a time. It is also written, for the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet full, referring also to our topic. The iniquity of the Amorite is the klippah, shell, that keeps and surrounds the fruit, called awakening from above, or the land of Israel. That klippah will not move from its place, even as a hair's breadth, before Israel complement entirely the necessary measure of awakening from below, called merit, meaning the labor and exertion beyond human capability. Anything that one can do is merely called work.
אז משלימים שיעורם, ואז מכונה כי שלם עוון האמור. כלומר, שניכר לכל, שאין ארץ ישראל וכבוד
surrounds the fruit called awakening from above. That klippah will not move from its place, even as a hair's breadth, before Israel complement entirely the necessary measure of awakening from below, called merit, meaning the labor and exertion beyond human capability.
שזה סוד המספר המפורש ד' מאות שנים.
This is the meaning of the explicit number 400 years, which shows the great precision in that matter, that there are no concessions here at all. As our sages said, the matter of skipping over the end, which was mandatory and obligatory for Israel, that skipping caused all the exiles to this day. It is also known that the general and particular are equal. That is, in each one from Israel, concerning the soul, there is the matter of coming to the land, and all that is said in the whole of Israel, and that in his awakening from below, there is that number 400 years, which is 400 of death and 400 of life. Our sages said, aseh, do, for the meaning of 400 years of enslavement, refers to the place in which he is permitted to pay back the measure of his labor, precisely for in that there are no concessions, not even as a hair's breadth. This is why our sages said, I did not labor and found, do not believe. And also, the Torah exists only in one who puts himself to death over it as well. He who wishes to live shall put himself to death, and many others that are similar. In contrast, they said, I labored and did not find, do not believe, for they knew that that wicked Sam, his lore, is in his hand, to show that it is possible to find a Creator's salvation without labor, beyond human capability, by which one is made to let go of one's grip in the awakening from below, and he is repelled each day into a great abyss. Afterward, when he returns and recognizes his falsehood and finds his faith in the words of our sages, that the lack of labor and awakening from below had lowered him to the netherworld. He therefore wishes to strengthen himself and dedicate himself to worshipping the Creator. At that time, he promptly returns to him with new heresy. Thus, even labor does not help at all, because he, God forbid, does not hear the prayer of every mouth. That is, he has prepared proofs to show that there are those who exert but do not find at all. This is why they warned, I labored, did not find, do not believe. Thus I've shown you the web in which the robbed souls that have no comfort are judged. Is that mistake in the meaning of the word labor? However, truthful is the verse, they who seek me shall find me. I still see much evil in the world, where those caught in the web of the Sitra Achra labor needlessly, which is only a depiction of punishment. That is, it does not join the count of 400 years whatsoever, and for that my heart aches more than anything. About such a person should embrace himself with the prayer, may he grant, etc., that we will not labor in vain, for it requires a great success in that matter. You should also know that the labor and exertion that appear in one's heart during the prayer is the most reliable and most guaranteed to reach its goal than any other matter in reality.
Any questions?
No, בסדר.
Well, okay.
What is an exertion above human capability? Is there an example?
No. The person feels himself that here he has to put in an effort which is above his power, above his qualities, his abilities. This is called, this is what is required of him. And he's not capable of that, and then he breaks out in a prayer, in a request.
The exertion above human capability is only from...
It's only in prayer, in a request, yes. Somebody here wanted to ask? What is exertion in vain? It seems to the person that he's carrying out actions, that he's trying and improving and he's drawn forward, and from these actions there is benefit and everything is registered, and he comes and it adds up to the exertion, to the sum total of the amount of the exertion, but it is not so. But it is not so. He doesn't fill up the quota.
It's called in vain because it has no profit.
Well, there is a benefit, but not directly. There is no action that just happens without leaving any impression being registered. But it depends. It depends on how much and if it's direct or not.
Depends on a person that you're saying that the work in the correct place is work in a tent, and he hears it in a way, and then someone hears it in a different way.
The way he hears it, he hears it. What are you asking of me?
It's not saying it in vain, but one doesn't have control over it.
So it says, well, so there is no control. All right. Okay. Great. Would you have more questions there?
There's one more question. There's nothing that's given other than by merit. So we need awakening from below. Does that mean that we have in us actions?
Well, an awakening from below, that is an action already. A merit means that we invest an effort, a prayer from below. That's called merit.
Does it mean that how not to fall into pride of oneself?
If the exertion,
if it's necessary from a person, then how not to fall into pride that I've done something, that I have done something.
one thing is unrelated to the other. It's unrelated. If it is truly an act of bestowal, it cannot be that it will result in love. Does the mother take pride in doing something for her child? No. This is how it is also in the group. If I care about them, I will never take pride that I did something for them, because my love towards them is my reward. My reward. And I don't need more than that. And whatever I do, it is only out of love. And therefore, I don't expect anything else. Why, in the end, we reach states where we are willing to work? Just let us work. Just don't take away the effort from us, the work. Because specifically in the work and working with effort is the reward.
למה אנחנו מבקשים ומשתוקקים לגדלות הבורא? אם צריך לעבוד ללא שכר.
For the greatest help.
If we have to work without a reward, the greatness of the Creator is important for us to begin with, because this is what gives me the possibility to work, to bestow, to give, to advance towards the goal. As much as the greatness of the Creator is more than the greatness of my ego, then He for me is greater and more important, so I'm willing to work and for Him, bestow to Him, because bestowal to Him will be for me as reception. Just like with a woman that gives the important bridegroom a ring instead of him giving her. That's how it works. And therefore we need to reach a state where how should I put it? Where the fact that what I bring to the Creator is just like this bride who gives the ring to the groom, and he accepts it from me as though he is giving it to me, and I truly feel it as though he is giving me. He gave me a chance, he gave me a possibility, and it's seemingly coming from me, and this is also understood in our world. I see that there are people who want to, they bring me some gift, a bottle of wine, and I feel according to this bottle that he brings it to me and he enjoys that seemingly I'm doing him a favor by accepting it. I give him pleasure as a result, and he feels this pleasure. And by that, he has a lot more pleasure than just drinking this bottle. Such spiritual pleasures do not go away.
When does a person understand that he needs to do an exertion above human capability? How not to give up, how to add an exertion, labor.
How to constantly add in the exertion, that depends on the importance. The importance of the society, the importance of the Creator, the importance of the goal. And a person who is included with that can add exertion accordingly, not any other way. We're always spinning around the same point, and it's good, it's good. In general, this Passover ends up being a lot more concentrated. The situation is also already equal across many groups, and it is clear to us where we're kind of turning around and what we need to do. It's as though we are together in the same Egypt, in the same state pretty much, and we're coming closer to the end. Yes.
כשאדם מגיע למצב
When a person reaches a point where it falls to disconnection completely, he doesn't even want to come against it, and he's not able to move himself. And friends still come and trying to, through the force of Alvut and obligation, and he does come physically. What does he gain from such a state?
That he followed the command of the friends, first of all. There is actually a double benefit here. One profit is that he went with them out of all kinds of calculations that he had. A second profit is that he gave them an opportunity to bestow to him and to perform a group action. And there are other gains with respect to the Creator, but at least these two. All right? Yes?
פה כתוב, ועל כי יוצא מזה צריך האדם להתחזק בתפילה.
It comes from a great success from it, and it'll be considered a great success in a prayer.
An answer for the prayer. We need to, soon we're going to study the ascent of the prayer and the answer for the prayer. It's from the Zohar. That is the success, raising man and receiving mad. This is what we have in our work, nothing other than that. This is in our connection with the higher degree called Boré, Creator. Yes? You're not ready yet? Okay. So.
Хотел продолжить вопрос по поводу каждый раз прилагать усилия. Как
wanted to continue the previous question about adding exertions, labor in every moment. In our world, everything's trying to reach a balance, and a person wants to also get to like a stable place, and we can't stay in that state. We are always falling if we don't add an exertion. So how can we always find that place where we can place that exertion?
The place to invest an effort is very simple. It's in the center of the group, and we need to discover the Creator. This is the place where you have to constantly look at. The center of the group and the Creator that should be revealed there as a result of the sum total of all of the qualities and interconnections of the friends. That will be the Creator, Boré. Come and see and pray for that. And with respect to that, towards that point, we measure darkness, light, the dawn, morning, the noon, the ascents and the descents, and all kinds of wars and peace, and it doesn't matter what. It's all with respect to that central point in the group. That's it. There is the ladder. There is the path of the Lord. It's all there. All right?
Ken. No.
הוא תן הכל, הוא תן לנו תנאים
לעשות את התפילה. Returns to do the prayer. He also lifts my hand. What are these efforts?
If the Creator does everything, then what benefit is there to our efforts?
What's the effort? I don't understand. The exertion.
The Creator doesn't need your effort. You need your effort because it becomes a kli for the revelation of the Creator.
But the effort to keep making these efforts.
The fact that you ask of the Creator for something, it's not that He needs this request, otherwise He doesn't know what to give, or otherwise He doesn't know what to do with you. Rather, you, according to your request, when you format, when you organize your kli, you can discover something in it, in the kli.
How to make the effort?
Leave him alone. Forget about him. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to hear about him. All of your philosophizing about him, throw that to the trash. Throw it away. I don't want to hear about how do you think about him, and that's philosophy. I don't want to talk about that. Very simple. I want to talk about me, about the group, and not about him. Why does he do it this way or that way, and I need to do this way or that way? All of these speculations, I don't want to hear them. That's incorrect to talk this way.
Okay, thank you. But I don't understand. What am I?
You need to build a kli for the revelation of the Creator. This is why everything that you do is in order to develop, to discover the kli, the vessel. That's it. And as for him, he does not change and he has nothing. If you think that he even moves a little bit, zero, nothing. It is all in you.
That's a miracle. It's a thought. It's a thought. I don't know. Where everything's happening. I don't understand.
Like, what is happening here?
What's happening here, you will know it in the end. And for the time being, do what you were told to do patiently.
Remind me, what am I supposed to do?
To connect. Oh, good. Now we remember the word, the kli, exactly. That's it. Yes.
שואלים איך מהשפעה לקבוצה לעבור
Asking how to go from bestowal to the group to bestowal to the Creator.
It's the same thing. Same thing. The Creator is the inclusive, the totality. With the group, I can engage, I can play with it in different ways, but the inclusiveness of the group is the Creator.
What's a spiritual pleasure?
Bestowal. In order to bestow, though. Just plain bestowal could also be in order to receive.
How to give spiritual pleasure as much as possible.
That is to attribute everything to the vessels of others and guard oneself from receiving anything. Unless you enjoy because it's required in the degree by the upper force that you will also enjoy. And that's called receiving in order to bestow.
Do I need to expect to attain the spiritual development when I'm studying Kabbalah, or exactly what the ego wants? Do I need to expect spiritual development if I'm studying Kabbalah, or is that exactly from the desire of my ego?
It doesn't matter that it's an egoistic desire. There's no problem with that. I begin from being an egoist and developing my ego so as to come to the degree of the Creator. That's where you begin, from the small, apparent will to receive, like in a baby that has nothing besides a beastly desire. Yes?
The vessel is built from a prayer or from the cry?
Как потом продолжать правильно работать? Есть группа, средства.
Afterwards, to continue working with the group, which is the means of how to connect in order to adhere to the Creator.
Появляется благодарность к Творцу, но все, что дает,
And to
рождается.
reveal the gratitude to the Creator
Какие шаги дальше?
over all that He's given. So, what are the next steps?
We already spoke about it 1,000 times. I repeat it almost in every sentence. It's me through the group, the center of the group. I wish to connect with the Creator, and all of my states, all of my actions are for the benefit of the connection in the group. And if I do this correctly, I have to be certain that it reaches the Creator, that it's at the center of the group. I always operate that way. There's nothing besides that. All the rest is by adding to this action all sorts of incidents that appear. Moshe.
How do
I help a friend that's asking a question? Same situation. Let's get up on stage to raise importance during a meal in many different situations in the workshop. How do I help that friend?
By supporting the friend, you have to integrate with his question, with his deficiency. You're aiming for his deficiency to be stronger, more pronounced. You want to participate in receiving the answer or giving him help or increasing his question together with him. In short, to integrate both on the outside and help him on the inside. So, to be together with him and opposite him, even against him, for scrutiny, for integration.
Is there a difference between doing in a meal or gathering of friends in different situations? Is there a difference?
No, I don't really think so. It's always being in the same tendency. Most importantly is to lower myself like a mother towards a baby and always take care of them more and more, as much as I can take care of the group. Yeah.
I feel right now that there's two sides, clearly from society. On the one hand, there's friends who say, Passover, and then they're coming. And to not give up on the opportunity and sit here today and they do the preparation. On the other hand, I feel that our friends, Passover, I'm not able to, it's difficult, all the struggles. How does it all work together? How?
It probably does need to work that way together. The Creator sets it up.
How? What? How does it connect to one group?
Oh, you're only seeing the two major discernments. There can be a lot more than that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the two edges. What defines these two edges?
Love covers all crimes. Doesn't matter how different we are, we have to connect in order to feel that with all of this pluralism of opinions and differences and opposites, even to the point of clash and conflict between us, it doesn't matter. We're going together towards the same goal. The goal of connection between everyone that's the goal that is, its peak is the Creator, is that is the peak of connection. That basically needs to be evident to all and above all.
In the morning, you gave us an exercise that was very special, where we had to awaken ourselves and get to some kind of awakening, and you asked if that awakening is spiritual or corporeal. And you didn't stay to answer. So I'm asking now, that exercise that we did, was it corporeal or spiritual?
What are we even talking about?
In the morning, there was an exercise.
That doesn't tell me anything.
You told us, come and see, everyone's heavy right now, everyone's tired, let's look at one another, let's awaken each other so that we'll look with the thunder, with the lightning in our eyes, with life. And we started in a workshop to awaken one another.
Yes.
And you asked, is this action corporeal or spiritual? So I'm asking, is such an exercise?
That depends on you. Depends on you. If you thought about connecting the group and elevating the group and feeling in the group unity, the unity is the creator. That's already is the creator, that it's detached from everyone personally and connected to everyone together. Otherwise, it's not spiritual, at least that direction, that inclination. If it's not yet there, it's just kind of on the way. But sure, that's already spiritual. What will I just give it just like that?
Well, what can help us to keep it? At least I left this morning with some kind of wind, special wind, and I thought that the flight would really be to hold it. And so personally, there was a struggle to hold it. So what can we create here that we'll be able to always hold that wind, that circulation that will live between the friends?
Like a ball that you hold in the air all the time. There has to be critical mass of people who always think about it, and then it spreads between everyone.
And if to me it seems that not everyone's running to push the ball,
that doesn't matter. You still have to try. You still have to try to do it.
No.
По поводу правильного понимания усилий. Вот у нас есть такое состояние, например,
sometimes we don't know what we want, and that sometimes we come to a meal and we come to a lesson.
И вот для того, чтобы удерживать это состояние, нужно тоже прилагать каждый раз усилия, потому что желание каждый раз раскрывается новое, и мы должны
something keeps being renewed, refreshed, and we have to keep we hold on to it less and less. Is it something enough, or is there we need to keep looking for something new?
Always keep looking. Next.
I want to ask about the example of holding the bottle of wine and to turn that action of reception into something in order to bestow. There's a few steps where we can learn what to do. Correct relation. Is there something to clothe ourselves in what he wants and what he can give? There's a lot. How can we learn the attitude in everything?
I can't say. It depends on how you feel the gift, what a person wants from it. You know, there's different situations. A friend of ours, from the United Emirates, brings me a bottle of whiskey that costs $1,700. We drank from it together with our friend from Netanya. Kfir, yeah. And a few others. And that was great whiskey. So what am I supposed to say? That it was a great whiskey?
I'm asking, in terms of would you not have had the whiskey, or is it something with an attitude towards the bestowal?
No.
So there's some kind of action exercise here?
No, but to the person, it's important.
Can I relate that way to the lesson where I'm receiving something, but if I do some kind of change in my perception, and I'll say, I'm receiving something, but it's not for me. And
it's not what you say or don't say. It's all up to your kli. What does it mean? What does it matter what you say?
I'm saying internally, or turning this action where I feel like I'm receiving into something, to continue it and roll it until it's like an act of bestowal. What's required? How do you construct? I need to learn how to do this psychological.
You have to feel that by giving you are fulfilled.
But it's not on the same line.
Of course not, because the more you give, the more you feel you receive.
You received material.
I didn't receive any matter. I'm telling you about the whiskey.
But you passed it on an attitude about something above the substance. And that's why I'm saying it that way. That you turn this substance translate it into something in a way that you give back to him in a way of the attitude, not in something of the substance. And what I'm asking is, can we have that kind of attitude towards the lesson, towards the meal, towards a meeting? How can we turn that feeling that we receive something?
Importance. What else is here? Importance. Perhaps not right away, etc., but it'll come. It'll come, and it will disappear, and come again, and disappear until it will stabilize. You need to be clear that the goal of life, the goal of your existence, of infinity, of eternity, it all exists in the center of the group. It appears in such a way that this is the treasure, this is it. I understand it's difficult. I understand. It's not felt as realistic or as important. Yeah. Okay. Yes, pilot.
Rav, I feel that I need to come here to help the friends and to help you.
Of course. Help us.
This holiday, with all of the scrutinies and with all of the difficulties, everyone's entered some kind of heaviness and despair, and everyone's trying to get that correct. We have to come to the realization that there's what the beautiful future we have, and I want to invite everyone together for an action of connection in my yard before the attack that we have in the evening. And I would like to ask you, right now, right after, what we do to come with it in the lesson at 8?
I'm afraid that you will be sleeping. Escaping from Egypt still means running. You have to be on fire, and what's our lesson length? An hour, 2 hours? An hour and a half, that's it. But it needs to be a good hour and a half. I'm intending to sleep before that, to try. Rabash used to sleep before that as well. And then we also have a meal before the lesson, right? So if you will be tired and even sleep, and even eat, then the lesson will be,
So it's better at 4. Are you in favor of it to have a gathering of friends, a warm, at 4:30, right after the meal, or just to bring the warmth, just to bring connection? We'll continue it, and then go for a rest, go to sleep.
How long will they have to sleep? They have time to sleep?
They have 6 hours until the lesson.
Well, if you want to do it that way. I don't know what you're doing there. Singing?
And sing. And we drink, and the greatness of the friends, and most importantly, happiness.
Okay, do it. I'm not saying yes or no. It just needs to be with the awareness that there's also a meal and a lesson, so that you're fresh.
I'd like to ask about this. It seems to me that we need to add more in our work with you, in our lessons, and to ask questions, and to work with the message that you pass to us.
Well, that depends on you.
What would you suggest the group when we work as a group together with you in a lesson? The questions or the message?
I don't know. I understand that it's impossible without questions and answers. But the questions and answers keep repeating themselves, and it's preferable to somewhat sort them out, review them, think about them, because when you hear an answer during the lesson, it's not enough. It's not maybe the place to really look into it and scrutinize it. But that's according to my nature. I am more used to working with the material, with written material. Because it's written, it's in front of you, you go through it at your pace, you ask a question several times, you understand the answer or not, you repeat the material again, you turn it this way or that way, until it leaves you with an impression. That's very important. God forbid, I don't want to cancel anything that you're doing, but maybe that is still something important. And also, in terms of the friends, we spoke about very important points now during this Passover. So we have to highlight them and make it a group effort towards the importance of the Creator, one's annulment towards the group, all those important points. That's it. I don't have any more to add. You have something from that part?
With the connection between friends, direct us towards the spiritual, not physically, but can do it one without the other?
I didn't understand. The connection between the friends needs to be only because without it, I don't reach the Creator. I don't. What to do? So I have to connect with them. If I'm not a man, if I'm a woman, for women it's much more difficult to connect with the friends, with the other women. It's a whole different world of connection, but to make the external action as much as women can, to be doing the same actions with everyone, yes, in order to build the place that they can work on. They can work on the connection if inside of it resides the men's group. Then the women around it can connect between them and support it. That's what they should do. Alone, without the men, it's impossible. Only for a third party, women can connect. For a child, for the men, for the creator, for the group. It has to be something of that sort. If a woman supports the men's group, if she's doing as much as she can, even a little bit, for that in her group, that's good.
They're asking about spiritual pleasure, about when you can get it, and it's very interesting about the spiritual pleasure.
Spiritual pleasure comes to the person when he's already outside of himself. That spiritual pleasure requires developing additional vessels. We were born with vessels that feel pleasure that reaches them directly. So there's no effort in developing the vessels for pleasure. With spiritual pleasure, I need to make great effort to enjoy it. Let's say you're given some vinegar to drink, and you have to reach a point where it's a pleasure. Meaning it's work with vessels to receive in order to bestow, because the intention to bestow ruins the pleasure, and here you have to build new vessels. Let's say it's not taste. Let's say I have to try to enjoy towards someone I really hate, and I have to enjoy giving him pleasure. Something against your nature. Describe it that way. And that will be called receiving in order to bestow. So that's after we rise above the will to receive and acquire, bestowing in order to bestow, then we come to receiving in order to bestow. It's a very lofty thing. It's 2 degrees beyond us in terms of the expression of bestowal. Meaning restriction, masach, vessel of bina, and then the vessel of keter. All right?
Чтобы входить глубже в учебу, тогда мы должны работать больше с текстами, Рабаша, Басулам.
In order to immerse ourselves more in the study, do we need to get ourselves more into the text and the sources from Baal Salam?
I think so. I think so. You are people who should be teachers for humanity. You are the teachers of humanity, of this generation and the next generation. And therefore, the original texts have to be in front of you. It doesn't have to be in Hebrew. It can be in your own language. But you have to have that. It has to be that way. And that's why we have to make sure that we have online everything in all languages, and we have to properly organize all of this. We very much need this. I used to do a lot of work on texts. Baal Sulam, Rabash, in general. All right, we're approaching the end of the lesson. Yes, doctor.
שקראנו באחד
We
מהמאמרים
read
שמשה
in one of the articles that Moses came to the people of Israel and needed to work in order to bestow and not to receive anything for themselves. They all right away felt to self-love. What did you do when Moses progressed them so much?
Where is it written?
It was in one of the articles.
Okay, so what? That the work needs to be in order to bestow, yes?
Yes, and not to receive anything for themselves. Then all of a sudden they right away fell into the self-love. What was it? When we're in a lesson with you and we rise to it.
You're not even listening, and I'm not Moses.
Maybe there's something in it.
Show me what it's about, what state this is talking about. But when it appears what in order to bestow really is, then a person opposite to that feels that he's in a will to receive. That's natural, that's obvious. Yes, Akoga.
At the beginning of the lesson, a friend asked, you once gave an example that Rabash gave you a mission to awaken a friend and you didn't manage to do it. In your answer, you said that it was missing for you the faith in the teacher. How do you strengthen the faith in the teacher?
Pray. Pray. These are exercises you're given from above. Yes, let's hear last question from the women, and then we'll leave.
The connection is always on the third option.
The connection can only be for the group or the creator.
Last question. In regard to Twitter, what is it to live as a Kabbalist?
In what I write?
Yes.
It's because of the Passover, free time. So I write. What are they?
What is a haiku?
Were they asking there? Haiku. It's not a song. It's a few lines that I can't remember, but there was this known Japanese poet from 17th, even 16th century. Baso was his name, and he was maybe the first, but there was haiku before that. But he kind of set it up in a classical way. And since his time, it became quite popular. So a lot of haikus are translated to Russian and other languages. There are many different styles of it. What's good about it is that you can use a few words to combine kind of like the feelings that is between the words, not exactly in the words, but between the words, and sort of use it to communicate a certain feeling of a situation, of a state. This is, I like that. I think I kind of have a feeling of it. And I think that for now it could be helpful. However, it's very contrary to, for instance, Greek poets, like Gomer or someone else, where it's very much about, concrete knowledge, everything is very clearly cut. Here it's all kind of more in the air. You have to get into a certain state, and then you understand what it wants to say, not through the words. So it could help us a little bit in unpacking the emotion. That's it. Maybe holidays will end soon, and so that will end with it. But I recommend reading it, not for, whatever other reason, but in order to look for that state or that feeling that I'm trying to kind of communicate in that way. I don't know how it comes out in translation to other languages, because it's very difficult to properly communicate. Try to read online. I'm sure there's a lot of such poems. Usually it's 3 lines, big first line, big last line, and short middle line. Yeah, or like 757. But if I write in Russian, then it already becomes something else. But it's beautiful. It's awakening. That's it.
A reminder about today's schedule and what we sent today, and we'll send it to everyone at 10 Israel time.
Straight to the meal.
At 10 Israel time, there's going to be a meal until 10:30, and then there's going to be preparation for the lesson to 11:15, and it will be from 11 to 12:30 at night here. And tomorrow we'll meet at 8 until 10 Israel time.
So the lesson at night is until 12:30. Well, okay. What will you do from 12:30 to 8 a.m.? A coca. What's going on? Why not 2:45? Now, okay, fine. Where is our poet?
לפקוח עיניים, לחיות בחברה כמו טיפה בכוס מים. לה 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 אז תן לנו כוח לצאת ממצרים, בלב ובמוח לפנות לשמיים, לקנות השפעה, לפקוח עיניים, לחיות בחברה כמו טיפה בכוס מים. תן לנו כוח לצאת ממצרים.
חברים, אנחנו נעבור כעת לסעודה. אנחנו יורדים דרך המדרגות בלבד, אך ורק דרך המדרגות. כוסות נשליך לפח, ספרים כמובן נחזיר למקום.